Hi and welcome to What's New in Shortcuts Black. My name's Kelly and I'll be guiding you through exactly how the new features of Shortcuts Black work. So let's get started. First of all, what I basically want to go through is the learning outcomes of this lesson. So what we're going to do is understand how the look and feel of Shortcuts has changed and how to make these changes in your own system. Understand the promotions feature. Understand what the contraindications feature is and how it can benefit you. And we're also going to go through some new appointment book functionality such as week view and some other exciting things like copy and paste as well. So I'm going to switch to live shortcuts now, so just give me a moment to switch over. Okay, so this is Shortcuts Black for those of you who haven't seen it. Shortcuts Black is very similar to the old shortcuts that you're used to, so you won't get lost navigating around it. The difference is though it has got a fresh new look. We have changed some icon images and just cleaned up the look of it to make it more modern and clean. So let's get started with going through that, the new look and feel, and then we'll get into the features. So the new look and feel of Shortcuts can be adjusted to suit you. So we'll go into Setup and Configuration. And there is a new icon. So if we go to General and scroll all the way down the bottom, there is a Visual Options icon. So we'll click on that. So in the Visual Options icon, we've got a whole bunch of new things that we wouldn't have seen before. So things like use flick scrolling and spin like a roulette wheel upon flick. I'll show you what that is in the appointment book. So this here is an option that you can have ticked or have unticked. So this will just determine the way you scroll up and down through the appointment book. So I'm going to go through and show you each of these as I point them out, just so we remember what they all relate to. So use flick scrolling. We'll go to Main and Appointments. And I've got my appointment book set here to quarter day mode. So if you have got your appointment book set to quarter day or half day or even 3/4 day, flick scrolling would apply to you. If you normally have it set to all day, you don't need to scroll up and down at all because you can see the entire day, so you wouldn't even need to use this. So let's go to quarter day as an example. Now flick scrolling basically means you're now able to flick up and down the page much like you would your iPhone. So the way that works is you click and drag down or flick with your finger and that'll scroll down, and I've got spin like a roulette wheel ticked, which means that it'll spin even once I've let go. Okay, so I'll just give it one quick little flick and it scrolls down for me. So the old way we used to do it was to click and drag down the bottom here to go through the appointment book, or click and drag right up the top here. So we don't have to do either of those anymore. Okay. So that is one of the things. So we'll go back into Setup and Configuration. Another thing we have here is, which is new, is darken the background upon pop-up windows. So we'll go into your client screen to show you that one. So what I'm doing is I'm selecting a client and going into their card. So in the past, whenever I brought up another screen in front of this, it could sometimes look a little bit muddled. So what we've done is we've darkened the background so only the front screen is visible. So if I click on Info, for example, you'll notice the back screen darkens, and then I can just work on the front screen without it being too confusing. So that is an option you can have ticked if you wish. I will go into Setup and Configuration again. Okay, another option is fade in and fade out pop-up windows. So again, that relates to any windows that we have, such as the info. It just pops up because I don't have it ticked. If I had it ticked, it would slowly fade in and slowly fade out. So it's just a visual thing if you prefer that. Okay, another one is overlay a gradient on the appointment book. So this one here is only necessary if you have appointment intervals set up. So an appointment interval is where, which has been in Shortcuts for a little while now, but this is a new thing where it actually indicates it. So an overlay gradient will show you at what stage someone can take a booking. So if you only have someone that can take bookings on the hour, you can set them up in their card. So if I go into employees and I select Harry, for example, and I say his booking interval is, say, every 30 minutes, so he only takes appointments on the half hour, and I hit done. If I make sure that this is ticked, so I overlay a gradient in the appointment book, that will actually make sure that these stand out for us. Okay, so I'll go back and I'll show you that in just a moment. I just wanted to check also in appointment book here that we have all the right things ticked here as well. So optimal booking marker brightness is set at 50%, which also relates to the look of the appointment book there. I can set it to 75% to make these markers stand out a bit more too. So if I hit done and done again, and I go back to my appointment book, I should see for Harry some booking markers. So let's see. Well, here I see some for Kate. I've got it set so we can see the little white mark there at 9 and then at 9:30, etc. Let me just double check I've set Harry up right. So appointments, Harry. Okay, so if I hit save, what you need to do if you're setting someone up for the first time, you will need to exit out of Shortcuts and enter back in to see these changes. Just by hitting done, it won't show that. So because Peter and Kate were marked before we started this session, you can see their markers. Okay, so you can see Peter also has markers, so he can take an appointment on the hour by the look of it as well. And we start at 8:30, so that's why his appointments are then at 9:30, 10:30, etc. So that is your optimal booking markers. So I'll go back into General and the Visual Options Setup. Okay, another option is where you can curve the appointment book corners. So the appointment corners. So in the appointment book, you have your little appointments and they will have a square corner. If you'd like them curved, make sure that's ticked. So I have mine ticked, so I should be able to go in there and see that I have curved corners. So if I untick that, it'll just swap it back to the square corners. Okay, you can make appointments transparent, so I have that ticked as well. And I can also use roster colors when displaying roster text in the appointment book. So I'll explain what that means. So if I go into Tools and Roster, if you have a specific color like green set up here, or you also have this other khaki type color, if the khaki basically means that someone is working all day, it's a rostered day off all day. So that particular colour would come up marking the RDO, and the green would come up marking the holiday. So if I go in and I have a look at, say, for example, last week, because I don't have anything for this week, if I hit done and go back to my appointment book, okay, so you'll be able to see that holiday is marked in green and then the RDO is in the khaki colour. Okay, so if you don't want these to be in those particular colours, you can change it. So by going to Setup and Configuration, again back into General Setup and Visual Options, if you untick this, the text will just be white. Okay, so you just make that decision whether you want it to correspond with the colours in the roster. Okay, and I'll hit done there. Okay, so that is some of the visual changes to the appointment book. There is one other thing that is set up in a different spot. So you might be able to see here where it says Harry's name. Around his name it's green, around Pearl is like an orange colour, and Kelly has purple. This is because I've set them up as a level. So if I go into Employees, there is the levels button. So if you've got levels set up in your business, you will be able to assign a color to a level. So that's a new thing. So this new color drop down, allows you to select a colour, and then anyone who is marked as a senior or whatever your levels may be will then have that associated colour around them. Okay, so then you can easily identify purple may be apprentices, so you can see exactly which staff are apprentices. Okay, so that's another little visual change as well. Okay, so while we're in the appointment book, I want to go through a couple of other things that we can do. So let's have a look at Fleur's appointment here. So if I just make sure I'm on today, actually, and we will go and select Linda. So Linda's appointment, if I right click on Linda and I hit select, what I can now do is copy and paste an appointment from one spot to another. So if I hit select, what it does is it puts Linda's appointment down here in this little folder. So it stays in the appointment book on her original spot until I move it somewhere else. So what I can do then is go to a day where I'd like to move that appointment to, so she may ring to reschedule, and I'll go forward a week, perhaps another day. And then if I click on my folder, I can then drag the appointment and pop it where I want it to go. So if I want it at 10 o'clock, I can let go. It says move the selected appointment to 10 a.m. on the 5th of September with Pearl. I say yes, and that moves the appointment. And if I go back to today, Linda's appointment is no longer there. Okay, so I'll go forward a week and a day, and there's that appointment. And now the yellow folder is no longer highlighted because the copy and paste function is over. So once you've finished moving it, it considers it done until you go and select another appointment. So I'll hit today. Okay, so I can try that again. So if I just flick down, I can select someone else. I may choose Narelle. So if I right click and hit select, it highlights the folder. I can even move that just to tomorrow, and then I can pick up that appointment and pop it where I want it to go and say yes. So that's moved that appointment. It's come up orange too, and the reason it's done that is because that person, that staff member, is obviously not capable of doing that service. So I can then perhaps move it to a spot where they are capable and just make sure the client is okay with that. Okay, so that is your copy and paste function. Now another thing that's available in the appointment book is week view. So now I can actually see an entire week for a staff member. So if, say for example, Phoebe calls up and she'd like to reschedule her appointment, I can right click and I can say, let me see the week for Sarah. Okay, and it's actually brought up Sarah and Harry, and the reason that it's done that is because this particular client, Phoebe, she's got an appointment with both these stylists or clinicians, and that basically means that we'll have to move both the appointments. So it highlights the fact that Phoebe's got 2 appointments in here with Harry, and then she's finishing off with Sarah. Okay, so it brings that up for me, and I can see 1 week by default. If I need to see more than a week to move it, say, to to the next week, I can go to, say, 2 weeks, and then it brings that up for me. It does make it significantly smaller, but it does still allow you to see if there's a free spot to be able to move that appointment to. So if I want to move that appointment, say, to Wednesday, or let's say Tuesday the 4th, I can just move that over and move that next one over. And then I can also move it over to Sarah's column 2. So I can basically move all my appointments over to where I need them to be, wherever I see an empty slot, and then I can hit done. Okay, so that would have moved those appointments over for me to their correct spots. So then I can hit done, back to today, and then move what I need to move next. Okay, so the next things that I want to take a look at is looking at week view without a client. So I right click there on a client to bring up week view, so view week, but I can actually do that on a employee's head up the top here too. So if I want to see the week for Kate, I can right click on her head there and hit view week, and that will show me her entire week. So then I can look at that and make appointments from there. Okay, so it just kind of filters the appointment book to make it easier to work with. Again, I might have someone that calls up just for Kate, and I can say view week. I can skip to show me her next 3 weeks, and I might have someone that wants an appointment with her, and I can flick through and find where I've got a spot free. So they're the 2 different ways to access the View Week button, which we call Week View, and you can do it right-clicking on a staff member or right-clicking on an employee. Keep in mind though, when you right-click on an employee, if the employee, on the client, if you right-click on the client, if they have got appointments in several columns, then it'll bring up the staff members for all the columns that they're in. Okay, so with this example here, I've got Adele. Adele has an appointment with Kate and Pearl. So if I was to go View Week, it will bring me Kate and Pearl's columns up. Okay, and that is done. Okay, so there are all the visual changes and a few extra lovely features with accessing the appointment book as well. So the next things that I want to go through is setting up some promotions. So promotions are a fantastic way to inform your clients of things that are going on in the business without having to overcomplicate things and overtrain your staff too much. It's always good to explain things to your staff, but sometimes if someone only works half a day, once a week, they may miss out on certain bits of information. So promotions actually helps you to keep track of all these things and to make sure your staff are aware of promotions without you even having to say a thing. So it basically does all the work for you. So I'll go into promotions and I'll show you a few examples of what these could be. Now promotions really are endless. The combinations that you can come up with are really up to you, and they're really dependent on the services and products that you have in your business. So if we have a look here, I've got 4 set up within my business that I've got set up here, and I'll just go through some of these examples and explain them to you. Then I'll show you how they look in the point of sale as well. So this is a 3-product promo. If I click on this, it says here in the description, buy 3 Youngblood products and receive 20% off. So if I go down to the details, over here it tells me that this promotion is in progress. The promotion name is 3-product promo, and then I have a description as to what it is as well. It's really important to put the description in here, because if your staff don't know about a promotion or they've missed out on a bit of information from you, the description actually will fill in the blanks. So if they're not sure what 3-product promo means when that comes up, having something in the description means they'll understand what to talk to their clients about. Okay, so they know you buy 3 Youngblood products, you'll receive 20% off. Now, you can tick that you require a coupon for this discount and pop a barcode in for this as well. So if you do tick require a coupon, it actually means that the promotion will not be able to be given to the client unless the coupon is presented and entered into the system at point of sale. So make sure you only tick this if that is a necessary requirement of this promotion. Okay, so under here we have whether it's a general promotion, which normally we would leave it as a general promotion for most things, but under here we do have the ability to change it to only being for a certain club. So you may have only your VIP club members will be eligible for this promotion. So I've got this one here marked as a general promotion. It tells me here the maximum number of sales is no limit. Okay, so we'll leave that as no limit. I can click on that and change it if I like to say only 10. It may be a really great promotion and you may only have 10 of these products that you're promoting in store, so you have a maximum number of sales of 10 to cater for this. Okay, the current number of sales just is information. You can't change anything here. Basically, this information feeds from the point of sale every time you sell it, and you'll be able to see exactly how many you've sold. Now, if you are doing, I just want to go into the club part of this a little bit more. If you are doing a promotion for a club, you can actually alter the amount of points that the club member will receive. So not only do they get this promotion, but they may get, say, double points. So normally your points may be 10 points for every $100 that the client spends, but you may change this to 20 points for every $100, and this will override the original club points. They'll still receive their normal club points for anything else they purchase, but for this particular promotion they may receive double points. Now that may be all that the client is going to get. You may not give them anything else other than double points. So, but in this instance, we're giving them 20% off. Okay, so over here to the right-hand side, we can select the validity of a promotion. So if it's available for all dates, we would just leave it at that, and available all hours, again, just leave that as the default. And the week of the month, it's available every single week. Okay, now you may have specific promotions that are only available on the first week of every month or the second week of every month, etc. You may have different promotions that you need to set up. So you'll basically be able to come in here and specify some different criteria. Now when it comes to the dates, you can specify a date range. So you may say from this particular date to that date. So for example, if I just click on the date range button, I may say from the 1st to the 31st, and that will fill in those details for me there. So that's my date range. If I select on date range and say from date, in this instance I might say it's from Tuesday the 28th, and I haven't actually put a date range. There's no end date. And then I may have another instance where I may say to date. So basically here it would start from as soon as I hit done to the date that I specify. So I might say it goes only until the 1st of September. And then after that, the promotion will be made inactive. Okay, so the next thing is I'm going to just change this one to available for all dates. The next one is valid hours. Available at all times is the default, but if I click on that, I might be able to specify a particular time. So this is fantastic if you have promotions that are only available on one day of the week between certain hours. So if I say Tuesday between 8 and 3. I'll just untick all day and then hit done. Okay, so that makes this promotion only valid from 8 till 3. So if I want to change it back to available at all times, I just click that button there and that will change it back for me. And then I just hit done. So before we go on, actually, we do need to hit next. Sorry about that. Okay, so this is the first page. So this is specifying the promotion name, description, etc. So the next part is actually defining the promotion details, and this is the eligibility. So what does my client need to do or buy to be eligible for this promotion? So in this instance, we've said they have to buy any 3 Youngblood products. So I've made this very, very broad here. I've just put a 3 next to Youngblood. But if you need to be more specific, you can drill down and say a specific product. So you might say, well, you need to purchase the baby kabuki to be eligible for this promotion, and you would put, you know, the number 1 in there, for example, one of these. In this instance, though, what I've put is 3 Youngblood products, any products. Now the promo limit per sale up the top here means that this client can only buy 2 of these promotions. In other words, they can buy up to 6 products, Youngblood products, and get that 20% off twice. They can't do it 3 times in that one sale. They can come back tomorrow and do it, but not within the same sale. Okay, do we need a minimum total spend? We've said no. We've left this blank for this particular promotion. So I'll hit next. Okay, so this screen here says what is the benefit? So we said what they need to do to be eligible. They need to buy 3 products, but what is the benefit of buying 3 products? Well, for this particular promotion, we've said for items purchased under this promotion, which is anything Youngblood, any 3 Youngblood, that we're going to have a percentage reduction of 20%. Okay, so that's all you need to do to set up a promotion. So these are ones that are just pre-done, and if I hit done, I can go in and show you how that works. But you can set one up from scratch by clicking the new promotion button. So let me show you how that works. So if I go to new transaction and I put through 3 Youngblood products. So let's put 2 in first, and I'll show you what that looks like. So we've put 2 in and they've just come up as standard. As soon as I put the 3rd one in, what should happen here is we'll get our discount. I might have gone through and changed something there. Let me go back and fix that up. So our promotion, so it's available all times, all days. There's no limit. We need to click next. There we have, oh, I think I changed something there. Okay, so what I've done here is I've said items purchased under this promotion. If I change this to the entire sale and hit done and done, let's put this through again. Okay, so I'll put any 3 Youngblood products and hit done. Sorry guys, I must have clicked something wrong here. Okay, so let's just double check this. Okay, so we've got 3 product promo available for all days, available every week. Oh, that's what I've done. I changed it to the VIP club. Okay, so let's change that back to a general promotion. That's me playing around while I was showing you stuff. Got to go back and check all the details are right, and I'll just change this back here to items purchased under this promotion. Okay. It's a good way to go back and check things. Okay, so if we remove this and pop it on again, all right, so we'll say any 3 products from Youngblood. Take 3. Okay. Okay, and we'll see here that it will reduce the amount here by 20%. It marks it in green saying this is our special discount for this promotion. And these are our new prices, and this is our total. So we've got a discount of $17.97. So this is what will happen if you've got a promotion like this set up. If I go back to promotions, and we go back here and we have a look at another one of our promotions, so the autumn gift. This one here says 30% off gift certificates with any service and product combination to the value of $100 or more. So if I go into the details of this promotion, we'll see here that again we just need to put a promotion name in, so you just make that up. You pop a description in there. You mark whether it's a general promotion or a VIP club, like my little mistake before. Again, you put in your limit, so we don't have a limit, we'll leave that. I've already sold 10 of these in this promotion, so that shows me that right in that field there. And again, this one here is available all dates and all times, and it's available every week. I'll click next. And in my promotion here, what I'll be able to see is that if someone purchases any 1 product and any 1 service with a total spend of $100, they will be eligible for this promotion. Okay, so again, I've just put a 1 in the heading product and a 1 in service. Again, if you wanted to be more specific, you would open up the category and pop the number 1 next to the actual service itself. Now, the reason I've got all these different columns here for this example is a great reason why. If you're having to put a number of different things within a promotion for someone to be eligible for it, basically these columns act as, I guess you need to add them together. So when you're looking at these, pretend there's a little plus sign in between the words any. So if I say any plus any of these. Okay, so that's the way we have to look at this. We need any of these plus any of these to be eligible for this promotion. The reason we would use the all column is if we want the customer to buy every single thing we mark. So we might say to be eligible for this promotion, you must buy, you must have Botox, you must have this particular product, you must have this facial. So when you're very specific within what you want to be sold in a promotion, you would put it in all. When you're being a little bit more generic and working with categories, you can put it in any, because that way it'll actually know just to choose one of the things from that category, and it doesn't mean we need to buy all of the things in that category. So that's the difference between this all category column here and the any columns. Okay, so what we're basically saying, I'll just reiterate that, is we're buying any one of our products and any one of our services to be eligible. Now, in this instance, we're saying there is a minimum total spend, so you can have that as a criteria. If not, you can leave that blank. Okay, so we're looking at the total spend of specific items in the sale. So in this drop-down list, in the previous example with the Youngblood, I had specific items in the sale. So what we were saying in that one was that we need to buy specific items, within a sale. But with this one, we're saying we don't want specific items. We want you to spend $100 on any of these things here. So it's a total spend of specific items. So it's both in this instance. Okay, so if we go next, now the promotion benefit here is basically that the client will be able to buy a gift certificate with 30% reduction. So this one here, the way we can explain it to our clients, if you've got a promotion like this, is that they can either use this to give as a gift, so they can give a gift voucher to someone for $100 but only pay $70 for it, or they can use this to buy themselves a gift certificate to use for next time and then get 30% off basically. So they can basically buy whatever the value is that they want and get 30% off. So the way that we've set this up is we've gone into Sundry and we've said you need to buy any one of these gift certificates and you'll basically get 30% off. So I'll show you how that will work. We've also got here actually, before I hit done, this alert when benefit is available. So I'll show you how that will work in the point of sale. It'll actually pop up and tell me that there's a benefit available if I'm not sure of that. So if I hit done and done, let's remove this promotion and we'll do another one. So with this promotion, remember what we had to do was spend $100 on a product and a service of any type. So I'll say Kate's serving them, they're buying this product, and we're going into services and we're also having this service. So we're spending $135, so that makes us eligible, and that's why this little yellow coupon has just popped up. If I click on it, a little message will come up on the screen. It'll tell me the promotion name, and it'll also say 30% off gift certificates with any service and product combination to the value of $100 or more. So if the staff member wasn't aware of this, they could now tell this information to their client, and then the client might choose to do so and buy a gift certificate. They don't have to. If they don't, then they just miss out on that promotion. If they do want to, then they can go through and purchase a gift certificate. By default, it comes up in green, which means it's a special. And as soon as I put the amount in, so if it was $100, my voucher should come down to $70. Okay, so now I see I've got a $70 voucher, but I'm actually going to have a $100 voucher to give someone or to use for myself. So it's a great promotion. Okay, so that's a gift certificate promotion. If I click back on promotions, another one here we've got is Stay Vibrant and Summer Lovin'. So down here, where we have the details button that I've been going into, there is the new button, and the new button is what will bring up a brand new promotion. So if I hit new, It basically just brings up the screen that I've been showing you. I've just got some that I've prepared earlier with all the information in there already. So it's the same thing. You would just go through here and type the name of your promotion, type your description, and specify the dates and times. Again, you would click next and specify the products or services and then what the benefit will be. So I'll go through and I'll show you one more. So if we go into this free makeup with peels over summer, this one's a good one to have a look at. If we go into details, we'll see here that this summer loving promotion tells us that we're going to get a free makeup. We've sold 29 of these. We've got a maximum number of sales in there, which is quite high, so we should be right with selling those. Again, we've got no valid times or dates for this particular promotion, but again, if you do need to have that, just pop that in. Now with this promotion, we're saying the client needs to buy any one of the peels. So now we've drilled down a little bit further. So we're not saying they need to buy a service. We've gone right down to the peels and saying if you buy any of these peels, you'll be eligible. So if I then hit next, here again it says there's going to be specified items within this promotion. So the benefit will be the specified items that we list here. So what we've actually said is the day makeup. So we've gone through and put a 1 next to day makeup, saying this is what the client will be able to receive. Or they can also have a full spray tan. So this is just an option that we've got in there. Sometimes a client will say, well, I don't really have, I don't want to get a makeup done, or I don't normally get makeup done, so it's nice to have an alternative in there in case they don't want that. Okay, so that's just an option that we've put in there. You don't have to do that. They can just miss out on the promotion if they don't want to take the makeup. That's another option. Okay, so we'll hit done on this, and we'll see here we've put 100% reduction. So I'll hit done, and I'll go through and I'll put this promotion in. So again, I'll just remove the previous one. And with this promotion, it was a peel. So I'll select peels, refresh peel, and hit done. And now it's alerted me straight away. So I click on that, and it says I will get a free makeup. So I'll click done, and I'll go in and I'll select that makeup. Now the good thing is I had day makeup selected in my configuration there. If, for example, someone accidentally selected special occasion makeup and hits done, you'll notice that it doesn't come up as a discount. So I'll have to remove that, and I'll put in the correct one. So it really stops you from making any mistakes. And I'll put the correct one in there, and it will discount it out by 100% because it's a free makeup. So all I'm paying for is the refresh peel. So that is your promotion. So there are so many different examples of this. So some that we have in our support document that we can send through to you. Price markdown for specified products over a date range. You can have a flat percentage discount. You can have a price discount. You can buy one product, get one free. You can buy 3 products, get 2 free. They're just examples that I'm shooting off here, but there's so many different combinations. It really just depends on what your imagination can come up with. So you can have a coupon discount for a specified product. So you might send out coupons or have a newspaper clipping that someone needs to bring in. So there's so many different things that we can do here. So that is your promotions. So the last thing that I wanted to show you is contraindications. So contraindications again is under setup, so right above the new promotions icon. And contraindications, you'll notice this little white symbol with the red cross around shortcuts in a few places where contraindications are set up. So in this instance here, I've got pregnancy. So contraindications, what it basically means is we want to ask a client a question before they're able to have a service. So if the client doesn't answer correctly to this question, so it might be, are you pregnant? And they say, yes, I am. And with a particular service, you don't want to be able to service, pregnancy. It might be, against some sort of practice that you have. So what you basically be able to do is make sure that you can decline a client before it gets too late, before they actually come in to have that service and you realize that they're pregnant. So what it'll do is when you're going to make the booking, it'll pop up and it'll say, are you pregnant? So you can then ask the client that question. If they say no, they are not, you can actually have it set up to not ask them again for quite some time. Obviously, we don't want to be asking our clients these questions all the time, but again, we still need to cover ourselves with our insurance and all that type of thing. So a lot of these questions relate back to insurance that you need to have within your business and standards and policies that you have. So with this particular one, where I've got marked as pregnant, if I go into this particular one and have a look at it, again, I can hit new to create a new contraindication, but I've got some set up already, so I'll just click details. It brings up the same screen, but already filled in with some information. So with this particular one here, I've got pregnant. So the description is some injectables and peels are not suitable whilst pregnant. Okay, so in this instance, we can't perform these things on women who are pregnant. So the question is, are you pregnant? The past response is no. So I type this in. So you can type the past response to be whatever it is that you wish. So in this instance, they say no, they pass, they can have the service. They fail and can't have the service if they say yes, they are pregnant. And then a pending response might be maybe. Okay, so you can just go through and fill these in to suit your particular question. Okay, so the validity period in days, what this basically means is how long is it going to be before we ask them again. So how often do we want to ask people, are they pregnant? We obviously don't want to annoy them or insult them. So we've set it here for 300 days. You can set it up to be more frequently if your clients, if it's something that's very important to your business, or if it's something that you're fine with only asking every now and then 300 days or 360 days, whatever it is that you want to do, is fine. So the renewal reminder period in days is how soon are we going to ask them before their expiry is up. So their 300 days are nearly up, 30 days to go, we're going to ask them again, just to make sure that we've covered ourselves for that period. So it's basically our reminder to ask them again. Okay, so down here we can apply a contraindication to all products and services. In this example though, what we've done is we've said it is just for injectables and peels. So we're not going to apply that to all products and services. We're saying it's active and it's also going to display on the CPC. You can tick whether it's optional and also whether it requires a sign-off. So if you've got that ticked, you'll require them to sign off on it. So then we'll hit done on this. So this is basically all set up. So there's not much to set up with contraindications. You basically just need to set up the question and say how long you want it to be valid for. So if we hit done, we can leave it at that. You can delve deep a little further into it with the setup if you wish. You don't always have to do this though. So with this particular contraindication, what we've done is we've had to link the services. So you always have to link a particular service to know what service it applies to. Simply having it in the details here where it says injectables and peels in the description, that's not enough. You need to actually link it to the service to make sure that it knows to ask every time that service is booked. So the way that I've done that is I've clicked on services and then you select the services that you wish and then you hit add to add them over to the other side. So if I say refresh peel is one of the things that I need, I click add and it pops it over here to the allocated services list. So basically here under allocated services, it's telling me that anytime someone books in for Botox, anti-wrinkle injection, rejuvenation peel, instant lift peel and refresh peel, it's going to ask them this contraindication question. Okay, so I'll hit done. You don't always have to link products if it's not applicable. So it might be with certain products you'll have a contraindication where someone can't buy a product unless they've answered a question. So in this instance we don't have any, so we'll just leave it as empty. That's why the red dot is there. Okay, so you can also have next to each of the services what the failure action is. So when someone says, yes, I'm pregnant, that is a failure to answering that question, which means they can't have the service. So what we've set up here is that we're going to deny them a service. And the message is, this service is unsuitable for you to have whilst being pregnant. So that's one option. You can be a little bit more lenient, and you can actually click in here and say, well, I'd like to warn them or allow them anyway, which kind of defeats the purpose. But the thing that I think is really good is having the waiver. So if you want to allow them anyway, what I would do is select waiver, and then what you can do from there is have a waiver that they sign, and then you can tick that off when the contraindication comes up saying that you have received the waiver. And that means that they are aware that this is an unsuitable service for them, but they've signed a waiver and they'd like it anyway. Okay, so this basically just, again, for insurance reasons, it covers the business. Okay, so in this instance, I'm going to just leave it on deny just to show you this example and hit done. Okay, so the place that you would see contraindications working is in the appointment book. So if I go to make a booking, you'll already see actually there's a few here with the contraindications icon on there, which means this person has outstanding contraindications. They haven't answered with a past response to their question. So if I make a booking down here, say for Daphne, and I hit done, and then I select the lip enhancement in room 3 and hit done, it will book it in for her if she's already answered this question in the last 300 days. So obviously Daphne, this example that I just used, she's already answered the question. So let's try and find someone else. So if I type in another letter or scroll down, let's find someone else. Let's say Neil. Let's hope Neil hasn't already answered the question. Okay, so we'll go into peels and give him a rejuvenation peel, which requires a question to be answered. Hit done, and here we go. Now, in this instance, we know Neil is a man, so we don't really need to even ask him. It will pop up, but we can just say, no, he's not. So he'll get a green tick, and he's passed. So we hit done, and he doesn't have a contraindication symbol on his card anymore because he's obviously passed that response. So let's make another booking, and let's find a girl. All right, so let's try Verity. And again, we'll go rejuvenation peel. Okay, so she's obviously not answered the question in the past 300 days, so it's come up asking her, are you pregnant? So in this instance, we would definitely want to ask. She would say, maybe. And what would happen there is that we would stay here with a little question mark. If she said yes, she is, we would get a big red cross, and that would basically mean, sorry, we can't perform that particular service. If there was an opportunity for a waiver to be signed, it would come up here saying that a waiver can be signed, and there'd be a tick box, but this is not applicable in this instance. So unfortunately, in this instance, this client would not be able to have this service. Okay, so if you say maybe, you can go ahead and complete the booking, and what will happen is Verity will stay in the appointment book with the actual contraindication symbol on her, and when she does go to check out, what would happen is it'll pop up and say, or when you go to mark her arrived, it will ask the question again. So we have to make sure we ask her the question before she goes in through and has the service. If I go back to today, and let's see if we can scroll up to the top and see if there's anyone today with contraindications. No, we don't have anyone there. Okay, so that's how it should always be. If you do have someone on the day with outstanding contraindications, it may be that they're not able to have that service. Okay, so if I go back to setup and contraindications, another example of this is allergy test. So there's, again, so many different questions that you may want to ask your clients. You may do tanning and you may have questions around that you need to ask for them to be eligible to have a service. So if I click on the plus next to this one here is all to do with our vein therapy, again Botox, etc. And the failure action here is deny. So that's just another example. So just remember, when you're setting these up, all you need to do is click on New, fill in the questions and the validity period, hit Done, and then make sure you've linked the contraindication by clicking Service down the bottom and linking all the applicable services to that contraindication. It's the only way that it'll work. You may need to also restart Shortcuts once you've set all that up for it to take effect. Okay, so that is it for this session. So I'm just going to flick back through to my presentation and just to go through. Okay, so hopefully now what we should be able to do is go through and understand our visual setup screen. We should understand how to set some new promotions up and new contraindications also, as well as our great new appointment book features as well. So copying and pasting, it should make rescheduling so much easier. Your week view, again, which will be able to really cut down on the time it takes to make an appointment as well. So these are our new things. So hopefully you've able to learn some of these things today and take them away and implement them in the business. And hopefully you also enjoy the new visual setup of Shortcuts. One thing actually I should mention, very important, is that if black doesn't suit you, we also have Shortcuts white. So if you click on this little visual icon here and change it to white, it'll actually shut Shortcuts down for you. So if I click on that now and say yes, I can then start Shortcuts back up again and it'll come up in Shortcuts white. So that's really important to know, because I guess black's not for everyone, so you can choose between the two. And as Shortcuts progresses and changes over the next year or two, we'll have lots more colours for you to choose from as well. So for the time being, we've got Shortcuts black and Shortcuts white. So I'll flick back to my contact information screen. So you can see up there that we have info@shortcuts.com.au. So if you've got any questions, please send them through to that email address. You can go to our Facebook page and post questions, which we'll respond to. You can visit our website and also call us on 1300 667 374. My name is Callie. Thank you so much for attending the webinar today, and we hope you've got a lot out of it and look forward to hearing from you soon. Thank you.